Jason on the here for Hoops Factory TV with Eric Herbert, the director of the Manchild documentary on Schea Cotton. Mr. Herbert, you mentioned in the question and answer briefly after the movie that you had followed Schea as you were a kid, or when you were younger, that you had seen him coming up, all that sort of good stuff. As you were getting through the interviews with all the subjects, it seems as though everybody really had a real passion for discussing Schea Cotton Story. Was there ever a point where you were kind of taken aback by the amount of passion that the subjects had for him?
You know what? I was very taken back. It was incredible because you don't know what you're going to get, because there is that competition. We're males, so we have that ego sometimes, but you know what? Everybody opened up, and they were very, very honest, and because I saw the game, so I know the truth. So I was like, are they going to give it? And they gave the truth, so it was good. It was very enlightening, some of the other stuff that I heard, and it was challenging also.
And was there anybody who you were surprised by how much interest they had in the project, and maybe somebody that was kind of chasing you around?
Yeah, it was a couple of those. There were stories like the Scoop Jackson. We actually really were trying to make it happen. He was trying to get a ticket to come here. We're trying to meet him up there, this, and that. So when that came to fruition, it was a great thing because he gave us great. I mean, the entire doc could have came from him. I mean, there were a few cases like that they really held their own and really told a lot of the story. But it was because of the collection of people, over 90 people. Not everybody was on it. I think we ended up with we capped out at 55 people on this doc, which is a lot of people. But there was a lot of everybody else played a part. Didn't use the interview, but it molded the story. It got me to understand exactly what transpired and what went on. So it was real interesting.
Okay, good. And a lot of times, especially with athletics, kind of respect from the peers is oftentimes more important to an athlete than kind of respect from the media or outside the sources, you know what I mean? Was that something that you really wanted to get across in the film, the amount of respect that all these peers of Shea's had for him?
It was very important because with this film, for the way we told the story, it was very important that we put him on that apex. I mean, he was here. And as well of a job I feel like I did, and others said, no, he was here. You know what I mean? It's really tough to put him here, but they helped do that. And it was important because then once you see, he was the best. He was the best, at 15. So if it can happen to him in any sport, in any profession, forget about sports. We're talking rappers, we're talking doctors. If you're the best and then you don't reach the potential that everyone else has for you, and that's tough to handle. And it happened to one of our best.
And was there a point in the film where you kind of realized that this is much more of a life story than it is any kind of athletic story? And I was mentioning to Schea just a moment ago that most people in America aren't as interested in sports, and it is kind of just a niche kind of subject for a lot of very passionate people. But at the same time, you're going to be able to reach a much broader audience with a documentary like the one that we've just witnessed.
Yeah, I think it's real important that when I tell people, I say it's a story about a basketball player. It's a story about a guy that played basketball, but it's about his life and his trials and tribulations that you go through in life, and this is just one who was at the top of his profession. And that's the only thing that was really related to basketball, is that he had that plateau, and because of that plateau that he had, allowed him to speak and have all you guys come out, and people like you, I want to interview, and and put it out there for the masses, and that's important.